And with that, Rattler fans, we welcome you to Bill Greehey Arena, here Buddy and Anna Meyer Court, the venue for today's action. I'm Joe Rodriguez, joined by Ruben Dominguez. And Ruben, quite the game we have slated for today. Two of the top teams in the Heartland Conference, both with that 9-4 conference record, vying for position earlier on. It should be a great one. Ruben, what are your expectations?
Like you said, Joe, it's a big game here in the Heartland Conference hoops, and we hope that both teams come out and have a good contest for us today.
And it should be a good one indeed. Both of these teams, two of the top ones. We're now joined for the first time by our sideline reporter, Mr. Jack Wolf, formerly of St. Mary's Soccer. And Jack, you got a chance to talk to Marvin Benny before today's game. What did Marvin have to say about going into the action?
First off, thanks for having me joining your team. And Marvin gave me 3 points before the game. The first thing he said is they got to stay aggressive throughout the whole game. At any point, just be there. Secondly, he said it all starts on the defensive end. If they play good defensive basketball, they can come out with a win. And finally, you got to have that passion when you're playing at home. You just got to have the desire to defend your home turf.
As we see a bit of a miscue there on the first possession. And then you talked to Marvin also. What did he say would be the main differences going into the action today as opposed to against Rogers State, that being on Thursday?
They didn't have the same energy that they're trying to bring tonight. It's an away game, of course, but expect to have a lot more energy in today's game. And the second thing that they had was there wasn't communication. They said there was a big lack, and today they're going to try and get everything going.
As that one put up and no good for two. Jack, thank you very much. We'll be seeing you at that 8-minute mark.
All right, thank you.
All right. Well, Ruben, St. Mary's first on the board. And a former athlete yourself, the one thing that I took away from what Jack was saying about the Marvin Benny, quote, aggression needing to be coming out. As a former athlete yourself, can you talk about how an aggressive team can kind of just take the game by the horns from time to time?
Yeah, Joe, it's essential, especially playing at home, to bring an aggressive style to the game. They'll set the tempo for the Rattlers if they're able to establish that early. As
we see the early scoring action, 2-0, but now 3-2 as that one answered right back. Let's go ahead. Let's meet the starting lineups as we're a minute 30 into the game. Press defense being showed by the Lions. St. Mary's methodical in breaking it. For your St. Mary's Rattlers, the typical starting five. You have Benny and Witt at the guards. It'll be Minor and Bolton at the forward positions. And then Justin Alexander rounding it out in the paint. Zone defense being shown by the Lions here as that one put up for three and good by Christian Minor. And Christian Minor, he's one of those players. He can get hot quickly, and we've seen him get out to fast starts early on in games.
Yeah, I think it's good for Minor to get early touches on the ball, and especially with his shooting range, he could be essential to the Rattlers' cause today.
As that one put up, a nice hook move there by Kenny Martin. Let's go ahead and meet the starting lineup now for the Arkansas Fort Smith Lions. You have Alex Cooper in there at guard along with Devontae Thomas. Seth Youngblood, another guard. Then they have Dusan Stojanovic. He's the forward starting out there at the 4 spot. And then Kenny Martin, he'll be there in the middle. Should be a good matchup between him and Alexander. As Minor, good again from three. And we just see this time after time from him. He's a quick starter. He must wake up early in the morning and have his breakfast because he seems to get into the game a whole lot faster than anyone else.
Yeah, no kidding there, Joe. He's lethal from three. I think it's going to be good for the Rattlers to ride his hot hand.
All right, as see a whistle blown there. Looks like it was last touched by the Lions. Minor to inbound into the corner to Bolton. Dangerous area right there against the press, but St. Mary's looks like they'll be able to retain this one. And here comes Benny right there. And we talked about the game on Thursday a little bit. Ruben, what in particular did you see out of St. Mary's in that Thursday game that you kind of like to see them translate into and do similarly in this game against the Lions?
Well, Thursday night I was really impressed by Marvin Benny coming off the bench. He wasn't involved in the first half of play, but in the second he really came out and set the tempo for the Rattlers early and led them to victory.
As that one put in softly by Justin Alexander off of the tip in. St. Mary's, they've busted out to this 10-5 lead. We mentioned both of these teams. It looks like they're just about identical in every way except for record. Arkansas Fort Smith, they have that one extra win, but St. Mary's, they hold the tiebreaker over them in conference play as that one put in softly for 2. And St. Mary's doing a good job so far handling this press. Now fall back into, it looks like a 2-3, but really truly is a 2-1-2 as that one put up by Minor, no good. Maybe a bit of a heat check. Lions pushing the pace, bringing it up the floor. Here's Cooper. Cooper, he'll receive a screen. That's from Martin. Now he'll swing it over in the corner. Here's Martin now with the entry pass, working against Alexander. 2 big men banging down low. That one put up, no good. Rebound, though, taken down. That's going to be Stojanovic, and they're going to get a Rattler for a foul right there. It'll be the first foul of the game, and already a high-tempo action in this one as we've already reached our first media timeout. We're going to go on ahead. We'll take the break with them as you're watching Rattler basketball on the Rattler Network. And welcome back, Rattler fans. 10-7, the Rattlers off to the early lead. I'm Joe Rodriguez, joined by Ruben Dominguez. An exciting one here, as this one a hotly contested Heartland Conference matchup. St. Mary's. Hey, Rattler fans, go ahead, get involved with us. Check us out on Twitter. Our handle at St. Mary's Rattlers. We're also on Instagram, the same handle at St. Mary's Rattlers. Go on ahead, check us out on Facebook as this one tipped away by Bolton, and it's going to be off of Stojanovic. Rattler basketball in a hustle play there by Bolton, setting the tempo. Check us out on Facebook, facebook.com/St. Mary's Rattlers. Check us out on YouTube as well, youtube.com/St. Mary's Rattlers. And of course, for everything you could want to know about your Rattlers, statistics right up of the stories and videos as well, be sure to check out rattlerathletics.com. No substitutions for either sides. Both teams comfortable, still feeling their way into this matchup. Here's Minor, aggressive again. Baseline jumper, it's good. Christian Minor putting on a clinic. He's got 8 by himself, and he really is that hot hand player like you mentioned earlier, Ruben. What is it about some athletes? They just start so much quicker than anyone else.
I think he really wants this game bad, Joe.
Oh, what a block there. Marvin went sent back. That one pinned up against the glass. This one put up for 3. And what a swing play there is Youngblood able to knock it down. 2 potential Rattler points taken away. 3 Lion points deposited in the bank. A great athletic play there by Thomas. Here's Benny now penetrating the lane. Alexander with the slam. 2 points for the Rattlers as they are starting to push the tempo themselves. These teams just trading blows back and forth here in the early going.
Yeah, it's a good contest here, Joe. Really liking the way both teams have come out.
And a travel call there on Stojanovic. It looked like Bolton had the strip either way. Now we'll have substitutions for the Lions as Josh Harmon and Blake Branham will be checking in for the first time today. Stojanovic will head to the bench for a seat along with Devontae Thomas. Marvin Benny bringing it up the floor. This really has been a fluid game. Not many whistles. Both teams playing quick, playing fast.
They're making big plays down here too, Joe.
Yeah, both teams. Martin, a good hands there as he's able to tip that one out of play. It's going to be 21 seconds on the shot clock for the Rattlers. Benny, he'll be the trigger man too, inbound. Looks like he'll just look for Witt to set it up, but over to Minor instead. And now St. Mary's, they'll get into their offense. 15 seconds on the shot clock. Plenty of time to work with here. St. Mary's overloading that right-hand side, trying to insert to Alexander on that left elbow. Good interior passing. Here's Bolton. Oh, no good. And coming down with the rebound there was Harmon. And they're going to get him for a travel now, as it was a good board there by Martin, but a little bit of a case of the happy feet right there. And the second travel called in the second possession in a row, and St. Mary's, they'll get a fresh 35 on the shot clock. Benny to inbound. St. Mary's running the play, but no one open. Eventually Witt manages to get free. Jab step, he'll toss it back out to Bolton. We see for the first time today, it looks like some man-to-man defense out of the Lions. They've been in that zone all game long. Here's Witt going baseline, and he takes advantage. Good aggressive move there by Witt as he gets on the score sheet for the first time today. And a foul going to be called there. Minor a little bit too handsy on Youngblood. That foul, only the second foul called of the game, both on the Rattlers. 13:29 to play. St. Mary's still yet to make a substitution. They like what their starting five is doing. That one swung into the corner. Here's Harmon. The left hand gets the screen, but the roll man not open. Here's Cooper now, working up against Minor. Cooper over the corner. Now it's Harmon's turn. Harmon trying to work against Alexander. He puts it up, no good. Tipped up at the rim, and a swarm of gold jerseys eventually comes away with it. Benny now in the Rattlers in transition. Benny attacking before the defense can get set. No good. And a good rebound there by Martin. Cooper now the other way. Cooper into the corner. Looked like Branham thought about it, but instead he'll put it on the floor. Here's Cooper now. Oh, good interior pass, but no good there. Ball tipped around off the backboard, and Alexander eventually manages to come away with it, and it's a flurry of plays. It's fast and furious action here.
Yeah, the Rattlers got to look to slow their offense down here and get a couple more points on the board.
Minor heat check. Oh, no good. Here's Harmon now. Up the floor, here's Cooper in transition. Rattler jerseys everywhere. This one put up by Branham, and it's put in for three. Good head fake there as he set his feet. And this looks like his foot was actually on the line, so the St. Mary's lead will be at 4. Both teams will look to make substitutions at the next dead ball. Marvin Benny trying to slow the pace all the way down. Minor, mid-range jumper, no good. Bolton, oh, over the back as Harmon was trying to go up to go get it, and JJ just a shade too aggressive. And with that, we'll be at the 12-minute mark. We're going to go on ahead, take another quick media break. Rattler fans, stay tuned. 16-12, the Rattlers lead. And welcome back, Rattler fans. 16-12, the Rattlers in the lead. A couple of substitutions on both sides as Melvin Anthony and Devontae Thomas will be entering now for the Lions. On the Rattlers side of things, Cameron Pierce checking into the game for the first time today, along with Ryan Thomas and Isaiah Matthews. He'll also be checking in. as that one flipped up and good. A nice little floater in the lane. Now St. Mary's again working against this press. They've done a good job handling it today. 3-on-2 opportunity, but Ryan Thomas, not quite the ball handler that you want out there. Instead, put him on the block. Let's see what he can do. Cameron Pierce swinging through against this 2-3 zone defense. St. Mary's good shooting on the floor. Here's Witt over to Benny. Benny looking to insert. There's Thomas. Oh, backdoor cut. And when you have good backdoor cuts like that one, it can be so effective against a zone defense when all eyes are on the big man.
Yeah, great play there from Witt.
This one swung over. Passed on over to Thomas. Now Thomas, he already had that really great block, and that one forced up. Oh, and a bit of an errant pass right there. Thomas just not on the same page, and Rattlers, they'll get rewarded with the possession. Bryce Smith, he'll now check into the game, and it'll be Marvin Binney heading over to the bench. He'll take a quick rest. Bryce Smith, he drew the start last game. He's very effective. And Smith, he's one of those players who they've started to let him be more aggressive, let him shoot more, and also penetrate. He's really had his best year at St. Mary's this year, I'd say, as a tussling for position results in a foul being called. It looks like they're going to get Anthony down there. That's the first team foul committed by the Lions, so they're in no danger of going into the bonus anytime soon. St. Mary's, they've only committed 3 team fouls as well, as that one thrown over Witt's head, but he'll retrieve it. A fresh 35 on the shot clock for the Rattlers. They'll go ahead and set themselves up. Cameron Pierce, he'll play catch now with Witt, back to Witt. St. Mary's swinging it around, trying to make this zone defense move. They have 2 big bodies in there trying to get this one going. Oh, skip pass. Here's Pierce in the corner. No good, but the rebound is long and out to Pierce. Another fresh 35 on the shot clock for the Rattlers. That's one of the weaknesses of a zone defense. If you don't box out properly, it's so easy to get offensive rebounds against it. Here's Matthews. Oh, he splits 2 defenders, and the strong move there for Isaiah Matthews. And the lead now at 6 for the Rattlers, their biggest one of the game. Here comes Cooper up the floor. Branham with it now. They swing it all the way around. Here's Thomas working against Smith. Back to Cooper. Cooper. That one put up by Thomas. It's a 3-pointer, no good. And the rebound taken down by Witt. Witt now off to the races. Him against 3 Lions players. Oh, no good. As Thomas tried to chase it down once again. Bodies hitting the floor, and it'll be the Lions coming up with it in a flurry. Here's Cooper getting into the lane. The floater, that one's blocked. And Witt tenacious again on the boards as he comes down with another. And the Rattlers will look to slow the pace here as Smith will bring it up the floor. Here's Pierce, too much space. He falls down. Oh, the foul is called as they're going to get Thomas right there for that one. Cameron Pierce, such a good 3-point shooter out there. I'm surprised he didn't make it. But he'll now head to the line for 3 free throws. And actually the first free throws we've seen all game. It's been so up and down in such fast pace.
Yeah, not many fouls in this game, but hopefully Pierce makes it good for from the free throw line.
Cameron Pierce, he's the sharpshooter on this team. He shoots 32.5% from behind that 3-point line. He averages 3 points a game to go along with 1.3 rebounds. As we see 3 substitutions coming out here for the Lions. Checking into the game, it'll be Stojanovic, Youngblood, as well as Cannon. Cannon, he'll be seeing his first minutes for the day, as all 3 are put in by Cameron Pierce. Cannon bringing it up the floor. Swings it on over to Youngblood. That one over to Stojanovic now. Now they'll insert it into the post. Matthews playing defense. Here's Cannon working up against Smith. This one put up baseline jumper, and it's good. Nice shot there by Josh Harmon as he gets on the score sheet for the first time today. Oh, no one checking Cameron Pierce. Here's Thomas laying it in for two. Good heads-up pass there by Witt, and the ball being shared nicely there by Pierce. Rattlers the lead at 9. This one swung over to Branham. Branham over to Harmon now. Harmon into the lane. Here's Youngblood. Youngblood, he gets the screen over to Stojanovic. Stojanovic, he swings it back out. Branham again, 5 seconds on the shot clock. Wrap pass, baseline three-point jumper, no good, and it's tipped out of bounds. It'll be Rattler basketball. But first, yet another immediate timeout on our hands. Rattlers leading this one 25-16. We're joined now by our sideline reporter, and I got Jack Wolf. Jack, what is it that you're seeing down there? What are you hearing from the Rattlers side of things? How have they been able to establish this nice lead?
They've been able to play physical basketball, and they're playing great defense right now. They're hustling for every missed shot and hunting down every rebound. Another thing that I've noticed is they're playing very patient basketball. They're not rushing shots, and they're waiting for the right opportunities.
And Jack, what do you think the Rattlers have to do to maintain this 9-point lead that they have?
They got to keep staying aggressive. They got to keep pushing the pace that they want, and they can very easily dominate this game.
All right, well, thank you very much, Jack. We'll be hearing from you again in the second half.
All right, thank you.
And we've been talking about Jack's points. I got to say, aggressiveness, again, a key, and he's right. St. Mary's, they've been able to play very physical in this one so far today. And it's actually kind of surprising because you would think a physical playing team would be leading the rebounds, but there haven't been many rebounds to be had, as St. Mary's currently tied with Fort Smith 8-8 in that rebound margin.
Yeah, Joe, they've established the outside game with the outside shooting from Christian Minor. But now I think it'll be good for the Rattlers to get a down-low presence with Isaiah Matthews on the court. He can really dominate the paint.
All right, well, St. Mary's, they made one substitution. Marvin Binney, he's checked back into the game. Witt will get his first break as well. University of Arkansas Fort Smith still pressing. They've been pressing all game. They've been tenacious with it, and it's their game plan. Benny now being aggressive, getting it up the floor, and the Rattlers will have 25 seconds now to set up their offense against this Stone defense. Also checking into the game during that timeout was Kenny Martin for the Lions. Here's Pierce now working against, and an offensive foul called there. Isaiah Matthews a bit too aggressive down low against Stojanovic. And that will be Matthews' first foul, the fourth team foul against the Rattlers. Maybe a little bit too aggressive there for Matthews, but the way the referees have been letting him play so far, might as well go ahead and see what will be called and what won't. Here's Stojanovic, good first step. He lays it up, but no good. Stevens takes down the board, no good for him as well. And it'll be Lion basketball right here. Matthews a bit displeased with the call, but I think he's saying that it wouldn't have gone off my hand if I hadn't gotten hit. Here's Monroe now checking into the game for Matthews. Matthews, he's had a nice performance so far today. He's contributing nicely. Be Youngblood inbound. He tried to get to Stevens, but Thomas will promptly swipe that one away. And now here's Cannon. Cannon to inbound. Tosses it up, gets it to Stevens, and they'll give it back to Cannon now. Little down screen action right there as the ball's now handled by Youngblood. Youngblood driving baseline, caught up in the air, and looks like they're going to get Thomas for a blocking foul there. That'll be Thomas's first team foul, Thomas's first personal foul. Fifth team foul against the Rattlers. As out of the timeout, it looks like a bit of a more methodical approach here out of the Lions. They're trying to get their shot. Here's Cannon now driving the basket, And it's going to be a travel call against Cannon before anything else. Looked like some contact there, but Cannon called for the steps. Pierce inbounds it to Benny. As we see, the press has been taken off, and it looks like man-to-man defense now being played by the Lions. They've been playing primarily zone, but a little bit of man as well. Thomas working against Stevens. Ryan Thomas gets the position. That one's swatted back by Stojanovic. It'll be 13 on the shot clock for the Rattlers. Here's Smith now. Smith spinning off. Smith looking for Thomas. He has him. Thomas using the rim to protect the shot, and a pretty left-handed scoop for two.
Smith, primarily a shooter, really showed his passing range right there, Joe.
Oh, and a bit of a bump right there as Benny got caught up with Stojanovic. That's the 16th foul against St. Mary's, so from here on out, the Lions, they'll be shooting in the bonus. As we see Alex Cooper now checking in for Cannon. Cooper, the ball up top, fresh 35 to work with here on this shot clock. Looks like Alexander will check in at the next dead ball. Cooper over to Stojanovic. Good pass fake. Behind the back pass now. Cooper working up against Smith. Here's Cooper. He puts his head down. That pass mishandled by Stevens. Now Stevens. Good help defense. Oh, but the foul committed there by Pierce. As St. Mary's, they got caught in scramble mode, and because of it, Stojanovic will go to the line for two. Dusan Stojanovic from Lazarevec, Serbia. I apologize if I'm saying that town name wrong. Actually, a lot of foreign influence on this University of Arkansas Fort Smith team. They have a player from Angola, Slovenia as well. Not to mention a few from Oklahoma, Arkansas, Texas. So, very well-traveled team. So the first free throw was good. Second free throw, good as well. 5:40 remaining in the half. St. Mary's with that 9-point lead, trying to build on it some more. Ball passed off to Benny. Benny, be aggressive. And that one stripped away, and a timeout called before Cooper was able to be tied up by any player. We're going to go on ahead, take the timeout with them. Rattlers leading by 9 here on the Rattler Network.
30 seconds.
And welcome back, Rattler fans. Rattlers with that 9-point lead. The biggest lead of the night was 11. As we check out some of the team statistics here, so far St. Mary's, they've managed to force 8 turnovers out of the Lions while only committing 3 themselves. That could be, well, that has contributed in part to the difference in this game. Here's Cooper now up top. He's checked by Smith over to Youngblood. Now swung over to Stojanovic. Back over to Cooper now. Cooper trying to penetrate the lane as that one rebounded nicely, but a foul is called. Who are they going to get there? It looks like they're going to get Bryce Smith as he got tangled up with Stojanovic. That's the 8th team foul the Rattlers have committed, so 1-1 now at the line for Stojanovic. Dusan Stojanovic, he averages 11.1 points per game as that first one hits the front iron and goes in. To go along with 5.1 rebounds. Also a very good free throw shooter. He shoots 72.7% and makes both here. Christian Minor, he'll check back into the game for Pierce now. as just under 5 minutes remaining in the first half. Here's Benny, back over to Minor. Minor being pressured by Stojanovic. And now here's Benny. 25 seconds on the shot clock. St. Mary's now set up their offense. 5 on the floor for the Rattlers. Alexander, Monroe, Smith, Benny, and Minor. Oh, Bryce splits the defense, but a foul is called. Good penetration there by Smith. Foul's going to be on Cooper. That'll be the 4th team foul against the Lions. Benny looking to insert the ball. Does so to Alexander. Fresh 35 on the shot clock for the Rattlers. We saw a substitution occur. Devonta Thomas check back in. Here's Benny pulling for 3. That one bounces all around, does everything but fall in. No good. Youngblood, he'll put it up to Thomas now. Thomas swinging on back. Here's Stevens. Now over to Cooper. Cooper trying to penetrate into the lane. Nothing doing. Here's Stevens now. He has a mismatch, or Stojanovic, I should say. Now it's Thomas trying to penetrate. And that one. Wow, somehow Monroe was able to come up with that one as Martin not able to corral it. Here's Benny. Over to Smith. And now St. Mary's, they'll try to set it up. It's man-to-man. Here Benny orchestrating the offense. Here's Smith now. Swinging it all around. Looks like they managed to fall back into that zone defense. Here's Smith now for 3, and it's good. Bryce Smith makes the zone pay, and he puts the Rattlers up by 10. Here's Thomas now. Over to Youngblood. Youngblood trying to penetrate, working against Alexander. Good defense by Alexander to go straight up. Here's Benny now. Benny working in transition. Benny ahead of steam, and he's fouled, and will head to the line for 2. Good burst there by Benny. So it looks like they'll get Martin for the foul, and Marvin will head to the line.
Yeah, Joe, we'll see if Marvin can sink these 2 free throws from the line to put his team up 12 points.
As we're underneath the 4-minute mark, the final media timeout of the half. We'll go ahead. We'll take the break with them. Stay tuned, though, Rattler fans. Your Rattlers up by 10. And welcome back, Rattler fans. 30-20, your Rattlers in the lead. St. Mary's, they've done a great job on the defensive end so far today, and also getting out in transition. St. Mary's currently, they're shooting 50% as compared to 36.8% from the Lions. So we'll now have Marvin Benny heading to the line for 2 right here. Benny so far today yet to get on the score sheet, but he does average 11.5 points per game. So far Marvin today, though, he does have 3 assists. Only 1 turnover for Marvin as well, so that's a pretty solid ratio. So he's able to sink the first. Second one up, and that one, oh, no good. Oh, J.J. Bolton, though, he got a piece, and he'll steal it away from Stevens. Bit of a miscue there. Now Benny being aggressive. It's stripped away by Cooper. Good hands there by him. And it feels like we see J.J. Bolton make a couple of hustle plays like that per game and can really make a difference for you.
Yeah, that's really good from him. stealing the ball away and not giving UAFS a chance to score down on the other end.
Here's Bolton now surveying the defense. Started playing a bit more of that power position for the Rattlers, but he still does have those small forward skills. As we see Arkansas Fort Smith scrambling to change into that 2-1-2 defense. Here's Alexander now working down low. He'll flip it up. No good. Ball's still loose, and Thomas will come down with it. Thomas, and a foul called there as Bolton got caught reaching, and Thomas will head to the line now for the 1-and-1. Fouls on Bolton. That's his second, so he'll have to be careful here as he's now in foul trouble. It looks like Coach Zelsnak, he'll not take any chances as Matthews will look to check in. Along with Witt. It's a 1-and-1 situation. Here comes Matthews along with Witt. Bolton will check out of the game along with Bryce Smith. They've both contributed nicely so far here today. Thomas, that first one, no good, and Alexander will come down with the board. Thomas, he averages 13 points per game. Yet to get on the score sheet here today, though, even though we saw that incredible block that he had in the first half. Here's Benny now, working against the defense. Picks up his dribble. Now here's Alexander. He tries to spin. Benny comes away with it, and a foul will be called on Cooper. That's only the 15th foul, though, against the Lions, so St. Mary's, they'll have to settle for a full shot clock right here. So we see substitution coming out. Branham, he'll check into the game along with Cannon. Cooper, he'll go ahead and take a seat along with Martin. It's off to Alexander. Now Benny has it. Fresh shot clock to work with here. It's man-to-man defense. Benny over to Matthews. Here's Witt now. Benny cutting along the baseline. Nice matchup here for the Rattlers. Alexander, he takes advantage. The spin into the left hook. As looks like a little bit of contact right there. But Stojanovic, he'll be fine and he'll be up. Might have caught a hand to the face or something, but I must admit I did not see it. Well, nonetheless, it's another bucket there for Alexander. He's up to 6 points now. St. Mary's their largest lead at 13. Branton trying to work against this defense. Over to Youngblood now. Youngblood, he'll swing it back over to Harmon. This one put up for three by Stojanovic, and he'll put it in. Nice shooting there. Stojanovic keeping the trend alive. European big men who can shoot. It's kind of the stereotype, is it not?
Yeah, not many times you see the center taking a three, but it worked out for them there.
Here's Alexander, offensive rebound, no good though on the putback, and Stojanovic very aggressive on that rebound. We're underneath the 1 minute mark. This one put over. Harmon now working against Matthews. He'll put up a baseline jumper, no good. Miner comes down with the board. Benny now in transition. Possible 2-for-1 situation here for the Rattlers. Miner, big dribble. Over to Witt now. Insertion pass to Matthews. Miner, he'll hoist up the three, no good. And Miner trying to track down that board, not able to, as Cannon will contest it just enough.
Uncharacteristic miss there by Miner.
29.8 remaining in this half. St. Mary's, they've built up this 10-point lead. Lions will surely try to hold for the last shot here. St. Mary's, they've been playing strong defense throughout the half. Chance to put an exclamation point on it here. 10 seconds now. Here's Youngblood working against Witt. Youngblood caught up in the air. This one hoisted up for three, and it's good. Good shot there by Branham. No time on the clock as that one, thrown up into the crowd. Don't be on your cell phone if you come to the game, folks. You never know what could happen. but we see a good half there for St. Mary's as they're able to go in with the 7-point lead. Ruben, what specifically have you seen out of the Rattlers that has allowed them to gain this lead?
Good shooting from the outside, and they're transitioning down low and getting their big men some points. It's been a really good half for the Rattlers here as they take command and take a 7-point lead into the half.
All right, well, Rattler fans, we're excited to bring you more in the second half, but for now, we're going to go ahead. We're going to throw it to our Code Blue dance team here on the Rattler Network.
Here,